The training facility on Kepler 442b hummed with the usual cacophony of 100 different species learning to coexist. Instructor Vexthor, a towering Kryptonian with scales like burnished copper, surveyed his mixed-species combat class with the disdain he reserved for anything weaker than himself. Among the recruits stood Marcus, a human boy barely 13 standard years old. His frame was small compared to the hulking aliens around him, but his eyes held a determination that belied his size. The Galactic Unity had recently begun accepting humans into their training programs, though most instructors considered them little more than fragile curiosities. Again. Vexthor's voice cracked like a whip across the sparring mat. Your defensive stance is pathetic, human. Marcus reset his position, sweat dripping down his temple. He'd been at this for 2 hours straight while the other students had rotated through. The pattern was clear, Vexthor had singled him out. Perhaps your species should stick to serving drinks in the cantinas, the instructor sneered, circling Marcus like a predator. Several alien students chittered with laughter. Marcus said nothing. He'd learned early that responding only made things worse. I said again. Without warning, Vexthor's massive hand shot out and struck Marcus across the face. The crack echoed through the suddenly silent training hall. Marcus stumbled backward, his lip splitting, blood trickling down his chin. For a moment, the boy simply stood there, stunned. Then something changed in his eyes, not anger, but a cold, calculated awareness. One heartbeat. The door to the instructor's observation deck slid open. Captain Elena Rodriguez stepped through, her human frame deceptively slight in her military blacks. She'd been watching through the monitors. 2 heartbeats. Every being in that room who'd served with humans in the frontier wars suddenly went very, very still. They knew what was coming. The newer recruits, the ones who'd never seen humanity's shadow side, remained oblivious. 3 heartbeats. Rodriguez crossed the distance to Vexthor in a blur of motion that shouldn't have been possible for someone her size. Her fist connected with his jaw. Here's what you don't understand about humans, she continued, pressing her knee into his spine. We're not the strongest species. We're not the fastest. We don't have natural armor or claws or venom. She leaned down, her voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried through the entire hall. But we're the only species that evolved alongside apex predators and learned to hunt them back. We're the species that saw the stars and decided they weren't far enough away. And we protect our young with a ferocity that makes your warrior culture look like a daycare. She released him and stood, not even breathing hard. Vexthor lay on the mat, groaning, his scales already darkening with bruises. Rodriguez walked to Marcus, gently examining his split lip. You all right, kid? Marcus nodded, eyes wide. Good. She turned back to address the class. Let me make something crystal clear. The Galactic Unity accepts humans because we